everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Political Discussion. Your host, Matthew Dubin, Matthew Nedgetime. Today we're just going to be talking about some various political details going on right now in the world, and mostly in the United States. First question, if you were able to vote this year, who would you vote for in the presidential election?
All right, so if I had to vote, I think most of my ideas, I guess I'd consider myself an independent because I agree with some stuff from both political parties. But if my vote had to count, I'd vote for Obama.
What do you think Obama does that makes him a better candidate than Romney?
Well, I mean, when I think of Romney, I think he's not he's a politician.
Well, so is Obama.
Yeah, I'm saying that I'm not saying Obama's better than Romney in this sense, but when I think of Romney, he lies like no other.
Well, you don't think Obama lies?
Well, yeah, like I said before, I'm pretty sure Obama tells lies too, but something like with Romney, he's changed his opinions on so many things, like this past election period, and it just makes me go to Obama. And I believe in Obama's practices more, like his idea on healthcare, though it's not the best.
Well, it is based off Romney care.
Yeah, exactly. But Romney doesn't support healthcare anymore.
Which doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, Obama has Obamacare, which is based on Romney. And, I think the whole Democratic Party is more for the people than Romney. Obama had those humble beginnings where he actually had to make a man out of himself. And Romney tried to play the people's card where he tried to act like he was a man of the people. But when they caught him on candid video, it was obvious that...
obviously Romney did say, just a big part of the news last week, that, he wasn't going to even try to get 47% of the vote because all those people that aren't paying income tax or property tax, they're all voting for Obama anyways, which is a little strange because I think prior to the 2008 election, Obama made a comment about those same people that they were going to stick to their religion and weapons. So, I mean, it's a little strange that Romney would be so, willing to kind of just push away all that vote. And I think that he also is, he's big on the corporations, That's basically where, he earned his money kind of through stocks and, being
He was born wealthy.
Yeah,
so.
But he was also he was a big businessman, I mean, he's not really from humble beginnings, He is more of a product of, being kind of, I guess a lot of people kind of wouldn't think that it's, really kind of that good morally of a job to kind of push himself up into the presidential race.
I mean, when you're running for president, you're trying to represent the people. So how can we have someone represent the majority of people who have never been in his position? So, did you hear what Mitt Romney said about Obama supporters?
I did not.
Well, he classified Obama supporters as victims.
Oh, yes.
So what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think that any president would want to characterize any percentage at all of the United States as victims. I mean, why are they victims? I mean, it doesn't really, make sense. I think for them, I mean, obviously, maybe he's saying that they're victims of, low employment or they're not able to find jobs. But I mean, I think generally that Obama seems to be trying to help kind of the lower classes by, not giving the wealthy tax breaks. Romney wants to give them tax breaks and kind of push some more of the financial burden onto the middle class, which, I mean, I'm not to debate whether that's right or wrong, but it wouldn't make sense that for Romney to say that Obama's making these people victims.
So that brings me to, aside from the political aspect where it's just decision making, what about the social aspect of the politicians we choose? Obama and Romney differ greatly on the social issues that we face today, like gay marriage and abortion. So what do you think about that?
I mean, here's the thing. When Romney was the governor of Massachusetts, he is the first, I'm pretty sure is the first state to legalize gay marriage.
Right.
And they also allowed abortion. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know about the abortion part, but I'm 100% sure he was the first state.
He was definitely a lot more liberal when
he
was governor. And I mean, my point of view is that abortion should be legal and that
Pro-choice.
and gay marriage should also be legal. I mean, Republicans love to use, say how, gay marriage is affecting their marriage themselves. I mean, how many people could honestly say that they are now getting a divorce because gay marriage is legal? I mean, if those are your feelings and, there still could be divorces even if gay marriage is illegal. People aren't going to want to stay in positions where they're unhappy. So, I mean, that's where I feel that I feel like he's in the right in that position. I mean, it should be up to the people what they want.
I personally think that, like, this Republican Party that we see today isn't with the times. Like, they say they want less government intervention, which is why they want to, like, cut taxes and cut regulations, which is completely opposite of what the Democrats want to do.
Well, wait. If they want to cut government intervention.
Yeah, so I was going to get to that point.
So, cutting intervention would mean that the government's going to take a step, the government will take a step out of, like, the lives of the people,
yeah.
right? So then why are they the ones to judge on gay marriage and on abortion?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I just feel it doesn't make sense, and they're actually butting their heads into the wrong area.
Well, I don't think that Romney is a great example of the Republican Party today. He's far more liberal than Sarah Palin or even Paul Ryan. I mean, he's shown that he does have liberal views at some point. I think his position as a flip-flopper is going to, create problems for him. But, I mean, Paul Ryan became the vice president because the Republican Party needed someone a lot more conservative than Mitt Romney was. Which, I mean, if Romney and his views when he was governor, if those were pushed into office, I mean, that wouldn't be that big of a problem. But the fact that he's completely changed his mind makes him, kind of a problem.
Yeah, like, kind of depreciates, like, the value of what he says. Like, I can't trust anything that he says because he changes all his minds about everything. Like, not trying to bash him for anything he's doing, but he's basically doing what he can, which is what he needs to do, but he says what he has to please, like, the majority of the voters.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like he isn't an eloquent, like, politician, and, like, when he went overseas to the foreign countries, like, he didn't get a hero's welcome.
Well, I mean, it's his own fault for that when he went overseas. He goes to London, and he says, while at the Olympics that's being held in London, he says, I don't think this country is capable of having the Olympics. Like, you don't say that.
Do you want that kind of a person as your president, Dubin?
I think if he was president, you're not electing him because of his foreign diplomatic skills. That's clearly not him. Right now we have a great Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, who's been great at handling the foreign aspect. I mean, she's been solid.
I agree.
And I feel like if you elect Romney, that's just not going to be it's not going to, people in other countries dislike America greatly. I think that we've improved our reputation a little bit during the Obama.
I wouldn't agree with that, but...
You don't think we've improved our reputation under the Obama?
I don't know if it's even changed much, but...
I mean...
It's true that we do have a very bad reputation throughout the world.
But it was mostly it was, we kind of made questionable choices in the Middle East, which have caused problems. But I feel like Obama never made the mistake of going into the Middle East and then saying that he doesn't think the Middle East is capable of building a good government for the people, which Romney did when he went to Israel. He said that Palestine could never kind of develop into the state that Israel is, which I think has increased anger in the Middle East towards us.
Yeah, I feel like I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. So that brings me to sway away from the presidential election. So there's two major things on my mind right now, and that's the Minnesota marriage amendment. Do you know much about that, Dubin?
I don't. I mean, obviously I know that they're debating whether or not to legalize gay marriage, but I don't know how the people feel about it right now.
Yeah, I haven't read up too much about that, but the whole idea, like, it's baffling to me about how they're actually going to, if the amendment goes through, it's going to be many years before they can re-ratify it and then make gay marriage legal, which is
So
like
it's not
a
an
major
instant
step
change.
back. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think that, I think they're in their right to allow the people to vote on it. I think it's better than just the government saying gay marriage is illegal. But
Yeah.
to let the people vote on it's good. But I feel that it's not a quick enough reaction time from when it gets passed to when it starts actually being implemented.
When it's ratified. Yeah.
And then even then, I know I read somewhere that priests are still going to be able to, or clergy, whoever does the ceremony, they're still going to be able to deny people getting gay marriage. I mean, obviously it's their choice, but what if you live in a small town and
there's no one there?
And no one there is willing to do it, even if it's legal. I mean, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, and also swaying away from that, there's that last topic that I really want to touch on is in Arizona they have the law now that you can check people's papers if you think they're illegal immigrants. What do you think about that?
I think that's an invasion of privacy. I mean, I understand that they don't want illegal immigrants to be in the country, but it's just kind of there's no real basis for it. I mean, it's all just that they see people that look like they might be, I'm guessing, Mexican, and they're like, you might be illegal, you should not be in this country. I mean,
I personally think it's ridiculous. I think this country was born on immigrants.
Yeah.
First founders of America were immigrants. They weren't born in America, obviously. So I think this whole sense of hatred we have towards these illegal immigrants, right? They don't pay taxes, but honestly, I feel like they fill a lot of jobs that Americans wouldn't take.
All right. Well, I agree. I agree with that. The only problem is that when you start making the argument that we all were immigrants at one point, so we should let new immigrants in.
I'm not saying that, but I think we have to understand what they're going through.
It's true, but if you don't take a position of kind of saying we can't allow this to happen, then I mean we'll be flooded with illegal immigrants, which I don't necessarily think is a problem. But I mean, people are looking for jobs now, and I mean there's a shortage of jobs, and they do take a lot of the jobs that some people would do.
It's a bit of scapegoating, I think, and it's actually there is some blame. You can put some blame behind it, but yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, yeah.
Do you think that and the Minnesota Amendment is something that the president should take into account, whether it's Obama or Romney?
I do think that he should kind of look into it. I don't really think he probably doesn't have that much jurisdiction over it. But I mean,
federal supremacy over state, so I feel like he could.
Republicans would like to argue that all rights not given to the federal government is given to the state.
So that could be a problem with Romney's and.
Well, I mean, I think that I think that they should implement a nationwide thing on gay marriage and on immigrants, because it's ridiculous that you go from state to state and there's a different law on that, different law on marriage, different law on immigrants. I mean, they're all pretty much facing the same problem, so we should kind of standardize that, in my opinion.
Can you believe that this is the 21st century and we still have these discriminatory problems, Dubin?
I mean, I think it's understandable. People are going to discriminate, about anything, really. I mean, it's sad to say, we kind of thought that, we went through the whole civil rights process and we were supposed to be, come out on top and kind of give everyone their equal rights. And it's something that you'd expect in a third world country for certain people to be discriminated against, but not in America, which is supposed to kind of be the example of kind of what the perfect country might be.
I agree.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. This was a great first episode, and we hope to see you back with us next time.
Thank you.
Dude.